Gee, I fucking smoke. What I got smoke up there. Still. Hey everyone, Scorpion here, Mad Hatter Outlaw Cowboy player, playful goofball, and fucking nutcase. Happy-go-lucky, whatever the fuck you want to call me, you know how it is. Hope everyone's safe, happy, healthy, enjoying the sun, protecting themselves from it, protecting themselves from people, all the usual shit. Like and subscribe, and hope everyone is okay. Enjoy the show. As per usual, I'm on YouTube, I'm on social media, so if I miss anything on here, obviously people can see me on social media. If people don't have me on social media, then you'll see me on here. The reason why I back it up on two different things. One, because social media deletes shit after 30 days, give or take. And the other, as people have found out recently on my part 6 or part 7, somewhere around there, there's me trying to discuss about, like sniper, how a sniper works, the reason why I use certain things, the mills on the scope, and how bullet drop is, and yada yada da. And subsequently, YouTube wasn't actually recording, so I ended up spending about about 20 minutes explaining about equipment and field stripping and this and that and the other. I just wasn't recording on YouTube via the console, compared to I actually had my phone that picked everything up. So there's the reason why I end up kind of recording on 2 different platforms, 3 different platforms, etc. 2 to 3. So if there's anything I've missed, there is actually a record, so to speak, for however long, to actually showcase there is actually more or less, or whatever happens has happened. So, as mentioned yesterday, I don't know whether Reaper will come on. Obviously he's in a different time frame. Obviously I'm talking to him through the controller, so on the recordings it looks like I'm talking to myself, but in actual fact there is someone there, as his icon is up in the top right. So at once for that, he's doing everything through his network, so obviously that won't come up on the game itself, as he's using his phone with the PSN network thing, whatever it is. So that's that one. Apart from that, I'll be just going about it as usual, so enjoy the show. If I bolt off quickly or you hear a thud, there's probably the controller dropping, as I've just ended up out on an absolute nosebleed. And for whatever reason, it's happened throughout the years. Unfortunately, it doesn't get recorded on medical, because my fucking medical things are just an absolute ridiculous and ludicrously stupid, and also fucked up, but no one actually gives a shit, let alone recording information properly. So, for whatever reason, that happens. So if anyone hears a thud or I quickly bolt, it's because my nose is flooding out or my throat is bleeding up again. I've been alright for the last few months, but just before coming down and having to wait for doctors that don't pick up the phone, my nose has indeed just flooded out. So if anyone hears me rushing out or the controller dropping, you know why. How's everyone else holding up, by the way? I still want that fucking beanie. Still trying to get comfortable with this fucking beanbag and all. hello to whoever is watching. All love and best to everyone that is good, to the pigs and the cops. Fuck off, go fuck yourself and kiss my ass. Preferably kiss my ass and then go fuck yourself. And for people on my social media, as you can see, I do in fact have knowledge and everything of my weapons and, you know, my firearms, my weapon systems, etc. So to the people that know, you will know. I have just reshared what I'm on about, so obviously go back and have a look at my recent posts underneath this live, and you will see that I do in fact have certain equipment that both I have used and actually trained with. One, you know, a couple of many, of course. You know, all realistic, all natural, you know, suppressors, you know, muzzles, rail covers, you know, whatever it is, you know, iron sights, scopes, you know, scopes and everything else. Obviously, yes, I know it's not the scope you would naturally have, but due to my own personal preference and everything else, it is how it is, if I'm being honest. It's probably going to be the closest you'll get, which is a comp or code, depending which way you know it as. Furthermore, you'll probably use that one as a backup. But it's just a personal preference and yada-da-da-da, okay? Normally I would use the Barrett MA2, failing that, the British L115A3, maybe a 13, maybe a 12, but the L115 is just what I'm more familiar with. There's not too many bells and whistles, it's different, but obviously, you know. So for anyone that doesn't know, or not too familiar, there's your L115A3, British and fucking brutal. Obviously, you want to know, go have a look. I'm not going to go into all the details and everything, because we'll be here forever. I struggle with communication, but I like to go into detail so everyone knows exactly what's going on. And there's the Barrett MA2 338, one hell of a weapon. And in real life, one hell of a recoil as well. I do flip between this one and the Tax 50, which is a Macmillan. They are extremely good, those Macmillans. The TAC 50s I'm using, for some reason, I prefer the TAC 50 Macmillan to the Barrett on here. Fuck knows why, I don't know. It was the same on Wildlands, where I got used to the M40 something. And I was hoping for the Barrett MA2. The Barrett MA2 and the L115A3 I have indeed trained with in real life. But for some reason, whatever it is, I just seem to naturally go back to something that I feel comfortable with, whatever it is. Subsequently, USP 45s, Heckler and Koch, or Heckler and Koch, depending which way you pronounce it. M4 A1 carbines, the model A1 M4 carbines. Again, I've trained with. I know how to disassemble, to field strip, etc. I know how they operate. It's relatively spot on for the game as it is, in comparison to real life. They're relatively spot on. The Sig Sauers, P226 is what I'm familiar with, but the P227, the P228 is more or less much of a muchness. Obviously, they haven't got 26, so I'm using the 27 on here. There's certain things like M16s that I've used, obviously MP5s, MP7s, MPXs I'm aware of. Obviously, there's a plethora of firearms that I'm familiar with in real life. But for whatever reason, I just go back to the Macmillan or the TAC 50 for you nerd gamers. Like I said, they're 338s. They're, the other one you get is a 308, but from what I've seen on here, I have not seen yet. But again, 308s are absolute amazing weapons in terms of firepower, etc. Regarding these, obviously, there is the P227. They're 10 mags. You can have a little bit more if you've got an extender, but these are overall just beast handguns. As I've said, to reset it, you have to cock the hammer all the way back, keep hold of it, pull the trigger, reset it slowly. This bit here at the top here just doesn't reset it all the way, as it leaves like a slight gap in between where you can get debris and all kinds of shit and dirt and everything in. So obviously you have to reset it properly to go all the way straight up to the slide. Also, again, I've explained this in previous lives. The CSFP, again, is relatively practically a Glock. Obviously, on a Glock, you don't have the safety at the back here. No different to a Colt M1911 or a Kimber, depending on styles. You have the safety mechanism there. Everything else normally on a standard Glock 17, 19, etc. Yada-da-da-da. All the safeties are all built into the weapon. There's no externals like all this bullshit here like you would have on a Colt or a SIG or a USP or whatever it is. You've got two inside and one built on the trigger. On a standard Glock, you don't have this, but this is as close to a Glock as you would naturally get. They are relatively high-end magazine rounds, etc. 9 mils, quite a lot there. You get the idea. Obviously, Desert Eagles, they're 50 AE rounds. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Bollocks. Fucking cunt. There we go. High-end rounds, obviously, Desert Eagles will have 50 AE rounds. They're normally really, really fucking bulky if you've ever seen how Desert Eagles look compared to, say, your Glock, which Glocks are relatively rectangular and very slim, very compact, etc. Obviously, you don't have all the external shit here, like the slide lock or release. Your safeties, you don't have the external hammer, etc. that you have to cock, yada-da-da-da. These are fucking beastie. They're really fun to take apart, as you have the top half, then you have the bottom half. You've got two little rods inside, the spring and everything else. These are really fun to take apart, but they're fucking huge. Where are we? The USP 45, obviously, are normally 12 rounds. Again, you could have an extended or custom. Again, you've got your little catch here, right there. You pull all the way back, you flip that up, you lock it, pull the catch just to where the pin is, what I call the pin, push that out, this comes out, slide that off, and out comes the barrel, etc. Obviously, you got your reset here, that will go straight up again. Just cock the hammer all the way back, bring it forward, and again, pull the trigger, etc. as you're bringing the hammer all the way back, and you're there. Obviously, M9s. Oh, fuck's sake. Go there, you fucking mug. That one. Obviously, your M9s are your Berettas. Again, same thing again. Eject the mag, clear the chamber, pull the slide back. Obviously, there's a difference between clearing the chamber and a press check. A press check is basically you pull the slide back just enough to see if the bullet has in fact chambered. Obviously, you let the slide go. There's a spring there that brings it forward. You are live. Hammer comes back. Once you've ejected the mag, cleared the chamber, you pull that little bit down and you push that little button in there, like a little lock type button. Obviously, you have the slide pulled back enough, and obviously you can slide that off, and again, you have your barrel, etc. Obviously, most are much of a muchness. Obviously, your USGs 5.7s, these are a little bit more of a pain to take apart, as you have a few more bells and whistles here. Now, it's been a while since I've done a simulation on these, so I'm not going to go into these as much, as I'm not going to lie, I'm not 100% sure on memory how you take these ones apart. I'm not gonna lie, it has been an extreme while. But as you can see here, you've got your little locks and your fucking switches and God knows what here. So essentially, they're like a steroid pumped up version of a Glock. Because there's aspects there of a Glock, but there's aspects there of its own kind of thing. A bit like a PRS, where they've taken like a Les Paul and a Strat, and they've kind of made this beast of a McCarthy, McCarthy 24 and the standards, etc. But this is what Sam Fisher uses in, I don't know about Conviction, but I know he uses in Splinter Cell Blacklist, and they are really durable firearms, etc. I haven't known it to jam up per se, or any reports for them to jam up. However, most of the time militaries will just use Glocks or 6 hours P226s normally, but it's not unknown for them to use other ones. Or student aid, etc., yada-da-da, or just your typical Colt, which it has been known to jam up, hence why they went to 6 hours, and obviously Glocks, depending whereabouts in the world you are. Again, if I go into all of these, we'll be here for probably another 18 odd minutes. So I'm not going to go into all of these, but I know my weapon systems, I know what works. Obviously, I've known quite a few military guys, I've even trained with them to certain aspects, so I know what works, I know what doesn't, I know what's actually realistic in comparison and translation from real world to a game, which is why I have always sought out an M4 carbine, or on Wildlands, in this case the P416 I believe it is, which is basically just a variant of the M4A1 Mark Model A1. Again, 6 hours I've trained with, I've disassembled with. I know these just as much as the Colt 1911s, the 6 hour PT26, obviously this is 27. I know my Glocks, I know my USPs, I know my Talon Tactical, which is the Pit Viper. I've had a BB version of it. I've never trained with the actual live firearm version of it, but I have trained with a high-powered BB version, and it is fucking incredible. Desert Eagles, I've never fired, but I have field stripped, etc. And obviously the P45s and the 45Ts and everything else. So I've covered much as a muchness, although that one, yeah, it's basically a variant of it. So yeah, alright. if you want to get a breakdown on everything or want to know more, just watch some of my other videos or ask me in person. Obviously, I prefer to actually do things via um, actions rather than speaker because most people just think, oh, he's just intelligent or knowledgeable or whatever it is, but we've never seen you actually field strip something. Obviously, if you want to be in that position, let's go ahead. I will actively field strip weapons and weapon systems, firearms, handguns, revolvers, Colts, Pythons, etc. Whatever it is, right? So I know a lot more than I let on. I do try and dumb it down for people to understand because they may not be initiated in the sense of the technicalities of things, whatever it is, okay? Obviously, people know I've done weapons training, martial arts, security, I've done all this other kind of stuff. So people will know what I'm on about. If they know, they know. If they don't, I'm trying to word it in a way that people understand, okay? But I know what works in real life. I know what feels right. The M4, the P226 all works well. The TAC 50 Macmillan again works relatively really well. The Barrett I like, but only with it being a higher level on the game, which I actually do believe I have a higher level on here. And then so the Barrett is the Navy SEALs variation, which I have actually managed to fire a couple of times in real life. The L115 is British, which is the Macmillan. Obviously, you get these, you get Remingtons, which are 338s or 308s. They're really good weapons. In that sense, where the fuck is that? Barrett. Again, SVDs, fucking amazing weapons. Never tried, but I've heard a lot about, I've read about. Yeah, they're absolute insane. Obviously Russian made, etc., but all the merrier. They're incredible. And they're equivalent to one of the Navy SEALs snipers, but I just can't think of which one it is. I don't know if that's a 308 is equivalent to or not. I don't know. But L11583s are British, Barretts are the American version. There we are. The MA2. There we go. Let's go back and be let's be loyal. And why can't I modify this? Oh, I can. What's suppressor? And to people that use the word silencers and not suppressors, get your fucking head on right. They're not silencers. It's not fucking Hollywood. It doesn't, silence a fucking gunshot. All the gases coming through, the fucking powder, the grains. The higher the grain, the more louder it's going to get, more powerful the bullet's going to go. Obviously, you get green tips, blue tips, fucking red tips, etc. It takes into account. Obviously, subsonic, which obviously you can listen to all my other videos recently, 6 or 7. Well, I've explained about subsonics and this and that and the other. Yes, subsonic is a lot more quieter, but it still makes a kind of balloon-like sound, almost to the point what a 6 Sauer sounds like with a suppressor. So to people that keep saying silencers, fuck off. Get your terminology right. It's not Hollywood. It doesn't silence something like you stab someone in the neck and just because you cover their mouth, all of a sudden it's like, you're still going to get that, someone's going to hear. So stop fucking saying silencer. It's suppressor. And I want to know if this is... 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah. on with the show. And no, no. Oh, there you go. Right. When was that? When was that? 14. Right. On with the game. You know, I can't be asked to run all the way over there. I've run an overlay and teleport. And funny enough, this is how you would hold a weapon if you're using the car system. So anyone wants to know what the car system is, I've already explained it before in many videos already, but look at Sam Fisher, Conviction and Splinter Cell, Blacklist, and also what John Wick does, you know, Keanu Reeves, or they call it Gung Fu, but the car system is actually a really reliable weapon system kind of style for close quarter combat and close quarter battles. Furthermore, and there's probably a few other places that use it, as the Karambit has become much more popular, which again I've used and I have. There is, I believe, Leon Kennedy in the Resident Evil games. He actually uses it in a couple of the cutscenes as well. So, but it's basically free flowing, to put it in a very dulled down kind of, yeah, way that people would understand. Yeah, there's no way that would open up that quickly. Not from that high. I do look a bit like Eminem. It was in that Ghost Recon. Oh shit. Aye. Never full throttle thing here, if I remember correctly. I don't understand that full throttle thing. Bang! You can't get me. Hey, you little pussies! You call yourself the army. How about this, boy? Sucketh on that. Come on, little pussy. Pop your head out. I've got a mallet in my arm. Voice number 2. Fucking voice number machine's my ass. I terminated you, bitch. Come on, pop your head out. Be a good boy. Pop your head out. Pop your head out. Yahoo! Oh, it's on now, boys. It's on like fucking Donkey Kong. That's how a ballad should be. Don't be a dick, don't be a dick, don't be a dick. Ugh. Excuse me. I just had Pringles. Going up, that, in a way. Make it chill. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. There's a thing now. Don't be empty, boo. As the great Lee Evans said, "Yeah, fuck you." Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Climb a rock. It's not that hard to do, even for a retard with piglet. Yeah, man. I'm on if you need that extra gun. Yeah, fuck it. The more the merrier, man. By all means. Awesome. The more the merrier, man. If you want to come on, by all means. Uh, oh fuck. Okay. Um. Nope. You asked me that yesterday. I've got no one, despite the fact of kind of mentioning. I used to have a load of people. Shit. I used to have like a load of people who used to uh yeah play. I used to have a load of people who used to play like COD or Assassin's Creed, etc. But I moved away for like 2 years, or a little bit just over 2 years, but 2 years officially. In 2018 when the PS4 came out, so I was still stuck on the PS3, but I was enjoying all of the games and everything that was going on at the time. So, when I came back, everyone kind of did their own thing, and I kind of lost track of who was who and, where I knew people and everything else. So, by that point, the PC had then come back into the picture again, where it was like, it was either Xbox, it was PC, or it was Destiny and everything on fucking, you know, so yeah, apart from you, and obviously anyone else that might come up on YouTube, there's no one else. I mean, I openly implore anyone or applaud or invite anyone that wants to play, but I'm the type of character you either understand or you don't. I know I can be quite brutal and intense, so I know that can put people off. At the same time, it builds for a really great, funny uh, live to watch. So, you're the first one who's actually had the balls to to actually ask. Yeah, mm. No, yeah. No, I know I'm at a lower level. I mean, until you came into the picture, but I was just, enjoying playing the standard story game. I hate the fact that people just play games just because they can play multiplayer and kind of prestige levels. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to find any way to think. I can't seem to get you on here, so I don't know whether your game's registered you actually on here or not yet. I don't know. But I've got you worth a shot. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just happy playing the game. I'm easy going. Well, nah, PlayStation Plus. Choose your payment plan. Why is it with this fucking global community payment plan shit? I hate what just happened to just playing normal fucking online. Are you nearby? No, you're not. Yeah, but it comes up with that fucking payment plan thing. Oh, because I'm got some online fucking you pay every month or every year fucking payment plan thing. I don't understand it. I just miss the days where you could just add someone in and play with them online. Now you gotta have a fucking payment plan everywhere. Oh, hang on. Hold up. Gotcha. No, I haven't. Hang on. Alright, yeah, join the global community with online multiplayer. Choose your payment plan. Why do you have to have a fucking payment plan when something's online? Mm. Yeah, but it's just ridiculous because we played before. I never paid for it. I never put a membership on. I never needed to because there was never anyone here to play, to play with. Yeah, but I never had it on when we've been playing, so I don't understand why it's you know. Well, I never had it on in the first place, but we managed to think. That's just fuck knows. See if you can add me in on yours. I'll come out and see if you can add me on yours.